Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host for the evening, Moose. And before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, Northern Divisions, Brigade camps, or subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you planned. Fun fact: look at that awesome new logo for SCV Chat. Ain't that pretty? But we got a great show for you planned. Of course, as you can see, I'm not alone this week. I have past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshers with me, also known as maybe my father. We don't know. We haven't got a paternity test yet. So it's going to be a good episode. He's got something he wants to talk to us about from the Commander-in-Chief and Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. And, of course, we got some camp news. I will say if you're watching this, I don't know. Facebook glitched out for a second, so let me know if Facebook's running smoothly. If it's not, give it a second to see if it'll bounce back, because our Facebook is still our kind of main platform right now. But you can also watch us on YouTube and scvchat.com. Hit episodes, you'll see live episodes, and you can watch us there. So just throwing that out there just in case something is happening with Facebook, because it's looking weird on my screen. I don't know what StreamYard is doing with how much they just told me that I'm having to pay. They better fix the issue. It's a lot of money, man. But okay, it seems like Facebook's doing fine. So that's good to hear. So while I guess I start getting everything set up, Commander Boshers, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well, young man. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain, Commander. Why don't you go ahead and I got a couple of pictures sent from Commander Kennedy, and I'm sure you have some things you want to talk about yourself. So why don't you go ahead and dive into that real quick? Everybody share this out to your camps, your brigades, armies, divisions, and so on and so on. Let's get this information out there.
Okay. Thank you for having me on, Moose. I want to thank our Commander-in-Chief, Donnie Kennedy. He reached out to me today and he asked me to come on and talk about this because his laptop, he told me his laptop's down. It's in the shop getting repaired. Mm-hmm. And he didn't know if he was going to be able to be on. So he asked me to come on and to speak about this. You can remember, go back over our past couple of years, we've been using a product called One-Click Politics. And One-Click Politics allows us, through a link, through the web, to send emails to politicians. And you can send them from the highest person in office all the way down to, as they say, the county dog catcher. You can plug everybody in there. There's a few of them that it populates automatically, and that's all of the federal offices and the state offices. And we started using it a few years ago, and we have had very good success with it. As you know, Commander-in-Chief Kennedy put a One-Click Politics out on the Telegraph, asking people to get in and talk and send an email, talk about restoring respect for American history. And he contacted me and he wrote up what he wanted in there. And he asked me to go ahead and set that up. And I set that up, I believe, Monday. Actually, I think I set it up over the weekend, sent him an email, and for some reason or another, the email didn't go through. But anyway, he contacted me Monday morning and said, hey, I want this today. And I resent him the email, and we talked and got it tweaked and got it out. That was what you would have seen go out on the Telegraph on Tuesday. And he's just asked me to come on and to speak about it. Now, there have been some questions, and there's always some questions about it. When you click on the link, it's going to pop up a One-Click Politics screen. And Moose, I don't know what you want to walk through or not. Yes, you're going to pop that up. Okay, now you're going to walk through that. Now you'll read that across the top, restoring respect for American history. That was what this, and they call these, when you set these up, they call them campaigns. You remember some of the other ones we've done over the past, like Save Our National Battlefield Monuments, the one concerning Georgia Bill 794, the Senate passing the NDAA. We've sent them many times over the years and over the past couple of years, and this is the one for that. Now, people say, how does it know? Well, One Click Politics knows by your address which politician it's going to be sending to. So when you enter your information in and you enter your address, your street address and your city, it's going to know who it needs to go to. Now, when I set it up, this one, Commander-in-Chief Kennedy asked me to go this to all of Congress. And that's what I set it up. So it's going to go to your Congress and it's going to go to your representatives and your senators. So it was going to everybody. That's the reason why it was addressed that way. So it's going to know who it needs to send it to per your address. So when you click next, you'll enter that information in, you'll click next, and it's going to pop up all of your representatives. And I want to thank you for bringing that up, Moose. This is where I think a lot of people have had some questions. How do I know exactly what this I'm sending them? And you can read that. There's a scroll down. You see, Dear Congressman, and it's going to fill in the official name, like Dear Official. It's going to fill that in. And then what you're going to send is what you see typed up in the box below it. Dear Congressman, restoring respect for American history. And then you scroll down through there. And then you can enter your name in there. Now, there was a spot there across the top. Moose, you mind going back one screen, please? Okay, you will see that click here to expand email. You can click on that right there, and that's what sent you to what you just looked at. If you'll go back to that other screen, Moose, because right now you could just take this and click on submit, and it's going to go. And it's going to go just like this. But if there was something that you wanted to see, or you wanted to add your name, or you wanted to address something specific, you can click on that click here to expand the email. And this is the whole email. And that's where you can go in and enter your name. Thank you, James Ronald Kennedy. And then you can, the salutation you can change, the end you can change. I like the American voter and taxpayer. And then once you get that the way that you want, you click done editing. Now, a lot of people take it just exactly like it was. They don't expand it. They just they see that, they click submit, and it will go and send the email. But if there's something you wanted to, and I can remember when I was doing them, that was the question I got the most when I was doing these earlier. And it was, how do I know what's being sent? I want to be able to edit it. And that's a way that you can do that. Some people don't. Now, if you just want to take it for a standard thing, you're talking clicking on the link, you're talking entering your name, your address, your email, click next, click submit, and that's it. If you want to take it exactly like it is, you're talking 3 minutes tops.
Oh yeah.
It just a real click, boom, boom, boom. If you wanted to be a little bit more diligent, make sure you were covering the right thing. Make sure it was saying you wanted. Make sure to let them know who you are. You can go in there and click at, and then do the editing that you want. It's very quick. It's very simple. It's very easy. You don't have to decide and address it to your particular politicians. It's going to know. And it feels and it determines that. So far, this come out on Tuesday, and here we are on Thursday. And right now, as of 7:14 Central Standard Time, we have 1,080 people who have done it. That's 1,080 people. And we're just asking people just to do this. Take 2 or 3 minutes. If you just want to take just the simple things and just take the defaults, just all you got to do is click on the link, enter your name, address, email, telephone number, and click submit. Click next, and then it'll come up, and you can click submit. So you're talking 3 clicks and a little bit of typing. If you want to do a little bit more diligent, I told you about expanding the email and going from there. It's not very complicated. It's very easy. It only takes a minute or 2 of your time. And the one thing that I would ask is to forward this on to people. It's not just you. You could send it. Your wife could do it. Your in-laws could do it. Your parents could do it. Your brothers, your sisters, ladies in the UDC, send it to them. The more people doing this, and it does work, we do know, and because we have had them say, yes, we got the emails. We know that we've got this many emails from y'all. And we know that they have talked and said, yes, we're getting these emails. And so we know that it does some good. They know that people are paying attention. They know that people are watching. I did it. When I set it up, I have to walk through it and make sure that it does what it's supposed to do. And I sent mine, and within 5 minutes, I got a reply. Now, it was a standard reply. It was, just one of those rubber stamps. Hey, we got your email. Thank you for sending this. Your opinion's important to you. We'll get to you as soon as we can, kind of emails. It wasn't like somebody sat down and, typed up something. It was just a standard rubber stamp reply. But that did let us know that they got it and somebody's going to look at it. Now, the particular senator or congressman, they might not sit down and read all of these, but they will be handed something that will say 25 of your constituents have sent in this email saying this. They're going to have somebody in their office giving that to them, even if they haven't sat down and gone through this and read every one of them. And if they get enough of them, then they're going to start talking about them. It's going to be called water cooler gossip. When people are sitting around getting them a cup of coffee in the morning, are y'all getting that email too? And that's where this comes in. And this can be tailored. Like right now, this was sent to all of Congress. It can be tailored to, like I said, if you have something going on like Georgia, concerning Georgia Bill 794, we tailored it strictly to the politicians in Georgia, and it just pulled them out. We could do the same thing for Tennessee, Mississippi. We've done it for Texas. Just tell us what you want and put it in that email. This doesn't take a whole lot of time. When you receive this on the telegraph and you forward it, make sure that you just copy the message and forward it. If you just do a straight forward and somebody unsubscribes at the very bottom, there's an unsubscribe button, and somebody unsubscribes from that, let's say it's been forwarded 5 times, and somebody, I don't want to see that, and they unsubscribe. It's going to unsubscribe you.
Yep.
So, then you're going to say, hey, how come I didn't know this was coming out on the telegraph? I was signed up. Well, you forwarded the email and you left the unsubscribe on there. Just copy the body of the message, email message, and forward it on without the unsubscribe button. And that way you don't get hit with that. Have I made sense with that? You're seeing the comments on there. It's not complicated. It only takes just a few minutes to do this, and it will go a long way. It will be paid attention to, and the more people who do it, the more attention is going to be paid. Now, we have 28,000 people that are members of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Okay, if you had just 10% of them do it, that's 2,800 people. If they forward it on to other people, when you start getting 4, 5, 6,000 of these things, these emails being sent, it really makes a difference. I'm going to sit here and I'm looking at the screen on One Click Politics on where we have done all of these. The largest one that we have had was when we were doing something, sending something to the Armed Services Committee Chair. 2,386 people sent that. We know that got read. We know that got talked about. The next highest one is the Senate passing the NDAA, and that was 1,563. Well, no, excuse me. I'm sorry. We had another one that was Save Our National Battlefield Monuments. That was 2,522. When you start sending that amount of them, people start paying attention to it, because that's 2,500 people who took the time to do something. Now, from what we understand, they figure for every one person that sends something, there's another dozen that feel that way, and they just haven't replied. So the more that you send, the more impact this has. And I want to thank Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy for allowing me to come on and speak about this, because I've set it up and done it, and he wasn't able to talk about it. He asked me to come on. And I think this is the first time I've been on since like maybe June or July, somewhere like that. So
July.
Okay. And I just thank y'all for allowing me to come on. And I thank Commander Kennedy for doing this. It was well written, and it's impactful. And I know that this is just the start. From what he spoke with me about, this is going to be a multifaceted, multi-pronged attack. And I'm happy to see what he's doing with it. And I thank you for allowing me to come on.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on, Commander. Of course, you were the first poor soul that we came to with this idea. So you always have a place here in SCV chat. And now I don't know if we're supposed to do this or not with one click, but I send a couple under. I'm self-employed. I own a couple businesses. So at some point I'll start putting my business name. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I'll wait for either a past commander-in-chief or a current commander-in-chief to tear me a new one after the show goes off. But, just throwing that out there for observations, because they get one from what I'm calling my historian name now. Just they'll get one from Harrison F. Dolls. They'll get one from Stars and Bar Studios. They'll get one from SCV Chat. They'll get one from Dixie Farms, all the businesses I have. And then, of course, also send it out to my camp, their wives, their children, my family. So, yeah, definitely share this out. Again, do what Commander Boshers said, though. Copy it. It's real easy to. I might post the link on scvchat.com if you don't, because I think we did that before in the past, where, if you were scared to, send it to someone via the telegraph, you can come to us. It doesn't matter if they unsubscribe to us, because they're probably not subscribed to SCV Chat anyway. So, send it from there. We're not trying to get y'all to come to the website. Let's just be clear. We're just wanting everybody to share this out, because the more people to do it, the better. Yes.
And, like I said, forward this on to, you're going to know people that they're not SCV members. They're not UDC members. They're just people people you work with, people you went to high school with, your neighbor across the street, your neighbor down the block, the guy who works on your car, send it to them, because you don't have to be a member of the SCV to use this. So just send it out to people that you know. And, like I said, be mindful of the unsubscribe. And if you feel the need to personalize it, please personalize it. It's, if you wanted to go quick, if you just said, look, I only have 3 minutes to do this, boom, 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 and you're done. If, you think, well, I'm going to take a few minutes and read this, and you know what? I want to write this. I have this to say. I have this to say about renaming the bases. I have this to say about, and then personalize it, make it yourself, because you're signing your name to it. So make it make it about you. And all we're doing is we're just simplifying you being able to reach out to your politician, because you don't have to sit down and write a letter. You don't have to mail it. You don't have to go through any of that cost or any expense or any of that time. All you have to do is click and do it. And it uses your address and it sends it to whoever you put in that address. So I checked mine and it did work right. Now, you said about sending it multiple times. Well, there have been times that we have had to modify it. Our first pass through, well, it didn't look exactly right. Let's do this. So, yes, I have sent from different email addresses. But that's, for me, part of the process of having to test it and make sure that it's working right. And, they're still valid email addresses. I'm not just making up something. It's valid email addresses. And so it doesn't take very much of your time. We made the process easy. And that's really as easy as we know to make it. Because if you wanted to reach out, like I said, it's click on the link, enter your name, address, click next, click submit, and that's it. And if you wanted to tailor it, of course, you can do a little bit more. But I didn't mean to keep rambling on, and I know I've repeated this a few times, but I've also, that's part of, when you step through something like this, some people didn't catch it all the first time, or they just come in on parts ends of it. And I just want everybody to do this because it does work, and we know they see it. So just thought I'd put that out there.
Well, this is one of the things I've been very happy to see from your administration. Of course, I could pat you on the back all night, but I don't think I'm going to do that to you this episode. But I loved this idea. I loved that we were doing it, and I highly encourage everybody to do it. Of course, if you're having any issues, reach out to who do you want them to reach out to? Is the question.
It's immediately, if you have a problem, you could always reach out to me. I think most people out there know my email address. And of course, if you needed to see something to the Commander-in-Chief, that email address is easy out there. If you needed the executive director, you could send something there. There's going to be a lot of us here that can help you. And so and including SCV chat, send it to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com. And then, with all of these, you will be able to get the help that you need. And once you do it one time, it's really you just click right through it and move on. It's just a lot of benefit to it. And it doesn't take much time. And I know there's a lot of people that say, well, what can I do? Well, this is what you can do. Money, unfortunately, money and ballots are bullets, modern day bullets, so it's, it takes money and it takes ballots to get the right people in office. And that's the modern day bullets. Unfortunately, that is just the way that it is. But we know that what we have done here, with SCV chat and getting the word out, and SCV chat has been critical for that. And again, I want to thank you and Connor for bringing this to me in July of 2020 and saying, hey, why don't we got this idea. And this idea is one of these things that helps get the word out about this. And then we have this product, and it really is a product that the SCV purchases and uses. And there's people that want this. They say, hey, I want to be able to talk to them, obviously, because I'm sitting here looking at 1,080 people have used this in a 48-hour period. The thing is, it would be nice if we had 10,080, then you really start getting noticed, because it's not only are you a taxpayer, you're a voter. And from what I understand, and I've had to deal with some politicians over the years, And the one thing that I have noticed, the first thing they do when they get elected is to figure out what they can do to get reelected. So, that's the reason why that you reach out, you let them know you, and you talk with them and you work with them and see where it goes. Yes.
Yes, sir. All right. But yeah, no, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to everybody. Commander Boshers said, and of course, SCV Chat is always happy to help. And once again, we ask that you share this episode out so everybody can get the information they need, that they want. And we can start this new presidential era, I suppose, is the term I'm going to go with for tonight, off with a good foot, and really see if we can put some pressure on these. I got to remember these views and opinions, and put some pressure on some of these politicians.
And you are entitled to your opinion. You are expressing it as Harrison Dawes. Do you pay taxes?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Do you vote?
Yes.
There you go. If you pay taxes and you vote, then you are entitled to your opinion. You are a United States citizen, and you do pay your taxes and you do vote. So you are fully entitled to not only have an opinion, but to voice it. And that's what you're doing. You're just expressing your opinion on this. And I am. That's all I see it as, is I'm just expressing my opinion as T-Rex, the taxpayer. And, that's just how I feel about it. So.
Well, I'm glad that we have T-Rex here tonight. The link, I'm about to post a link in the chat. I cannot believe I didn't think about that before we got started, but here we are.
Go ahead.
I'm having to go through my phone because I don't have it on my computer. And I'm on the wrong account, but y'all will get the idea. So if you saw the company, not us, SCV Chat posted, that's the link. That's us. I forgot to switch accounts. So yeah, go to the Stars and Bar Studios LLC comment in the chat, and that is the link for One Click Politics. So click it, fill it out. We'll even wait for you to do it right now. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we will be talking about some of the news that y'all sent in. And holy crap, did y'all send in some news? I'm looking at you, Kentucky. Oh my gosh. We actually are saving some of y'all's for next week because you sent so much in. So we are.
Way to go, Bluegrass State.
Oh, yeah, no, they did a phenomenal job. So real quick, though, this commercial break is, of course, sponsored by scvchat.com. On scvchat.com, you can see our T-shirt store. Go check that out. You can watch episodes live. You can, of course, see our some of me and GCB's favorite episodes in the archive section. The Moosehead Book Club. You can see the first episode on there, or listen to the first episode on there. It is a podcast. And get news updates regarding Heritage, SCV, camps, SCV Chat news, all that great stuff as well. And of course, you get to see some of our favorite videos of the week as well, or the month, on the homepage. There's a lot of stuff you can do on the website, so please go check out scvchat.com. And of course, if you want to be a part of keeping SCV Chat on the air and collect some awesome perks, behind the scene information, as well as get your name added to the end credits of every SCV Chat produced episode, go over to our Patreon for just $10 a month. You really help us not only keep SCV Chat on the air, but expand it in ways y'all don't know yet. I'm hoping to show you one of the ways that SCV Chat has expanded early next year. There's something in pre-production right now that will go into production in December and January that I really think y'all are going to enjoy. It's kind of our first step outside of the normal SCV Chat stuff we've done in the past 4 years. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it does pretty well, because we have a lot more planned for y'all in that department. That's what's coming out early next year is something that we're hoping to release at least one of a year until we start releasing 2 a year. And Hopefully some other stuff is coming out. I can't speak about all of it right now because we're still ironing out some details. But again, you get to be the first to know about these big things if you go support our Patreon. They will be getting behind-the-scenes info, SCV chat updates, Connor's blog posts, which are treating of themselves, honestly. I don't read them, but I hope you do. And so many much more. So go check us out on Patreon. And, of course, we can't thank Creative Cockades enough for them sponsoring this season. If you want historically accurate cockades at a reasonable price, go check out creativecockades.company.site, and you will get your historically accurate cockade at a very reasonable price. They have a lot of UDC and SCV and Jefferson Davis one and Robert E. Lee ones. I wish that I could pay myself more money as a self-employed broke college student, but I can't. So I'm going to have to maybe put these on my wish list for down the future. So, yeah, please go check them out. And me and maybe old T-Rex will stick around for the news of the news part of Look Around. And we will be right back after this commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Jason, do you know what I just did while we were watching that beautiful commercial?
No, I want you to tell me.
I just did the one-click politics in less than 2 minutes. I was able to fill out that one-click politics. Had to promote it one more time.
That is that video was 1 minute and 57 seconds long.
Oh yeah, so in a minute and 47 seconds, I was able to fill that out, not be rushed. Heck, I even was able to refresh the page and start doing the one from Stars and Bars. So, you know, it was very quick and easy. Yes, Floyd, beautiful, beautiful commercial. I always love seeing that. YouTube always tries to give us a stink about it somehow. They just started doing that recently where they're saying it's copyrighted material. And so that is why we're here, to reclaim the narrative 1 week at a time, because YouTube is
copyrighted about it.
They're saying the music.
Oh, the music. Okay, because it can't be the words, because I wrote those. And it can't be the video because we paid the guy to do that.
Oh, no, sir. It's not the video. It's not the content. It's specifically the music, weird enough. YouTube can get pretty touchy on music. Speaking of which, if you're having any hardities finding this Monday's episode of SCV Chat, we're trying to figure out a way to get it to you. Because Connor, speaking of copyright issues, played a clip from The Searchers. And this is why we don't mess with big media companies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I saw that.
They tore me a new one this week. It was a lovely experience. I think the Facebook version of that episode is still up. If you would like to go watch it, chat heads, it is not available on YouTube. And YouTube is telling me it will never be available on YouTube. So it's been fun. Hopefully the podcast version of the show will not be blacklisted as well. I haven't uploaded it on the podcast format yet. It's been a lovely week here at SCV Chat, but I got hit by that. I got hit by that twofold. So they just started saying the copyrighted music on that commercial, and then the same time they take the video down like an hour or two later because of the John Wayne clip. And please note, we're obviously in fair use, completely in fair use. You can use up to 10 minutes of someone's content without being taken down. But I guess YouTube have 1,000 subscribers over there are trying to play hardball. But let them.
I think it's probably because our stuff's getting watched.
Well, I think I told you this, but I don't know if we told any of the chat heads. But, SCV Chat, just this year alone, now lifetime, we've been past this. But in just this year alone, from January to July, SCV Chat was watched by over 1 million people. So I'm guessing YouTube is getting pretty nervous right now.
Yeah, because people are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, if nobody was watching, they wouldn't pay any attention to it. Yeah.
And please note, we have no intentions of leaving YouTube. You got to go where the idiots are to educate them. And I don't know if I know a place more full of idiots than YouTube. There are some historians, and I'm using that term extremely loosely, all over YouTube. And we have to educate the masses. And so we will be staying on YouTube for years to come, hopefully. Even if they try to kick us off, we will just come back under another name on YouTube. So let them try. But that's been my interesting week. But we do have some news to go into. Okay. Also, hence why you should support us on our website so we can start running the episodes through the website first. Hey, go check out that Patreon. But let us go into the news.
I did the Patreon, and it only took a few minutes to set that up, and you don't have to worry about it, and it supports what we're doing here. And what the guys here are doing is critical. It really is important. Go ahead, Moose. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you can interrupt me all day, Commander. That's the past Commander-in-Chief privilege. That's the special.
Oh, no. I still need to respect you when you were talking, and you have my apologies for interrupting.
Commander, how many times have I accidentally interrupted you? I even did it while you were in office. So, the fact that I'm just still a member and I haven't been kicked out for doing that, I'll take that as, the apology.
Well, but, I am one of those people, I'm real sensitive.
All right, we got some a good bit of news to go over. Y'all surprised me when Commander Boshers reached out for the episode. I was like, oh, there's not a lot of news. Of course, I've been dealing with the YouTube people all week, so I haven't checked our email since Monday night or Tuesday morning. And y'all sent a lot in under a day. I'll give you that. So we do have a lot of news to cover, so we'll try our best to cover it. So first bit of news, we got an event coming up in July 26, 2025. Long way away, about, 6 or 7 months, but they wanted to go ahead and start promoting it. So this is from Camp 1460 with their 28th annual lecture featuring guest speaker Derek Linden. And he will be talking on his new book, We Shall Conquer or Die. Wow. I bet that's going to be interesting. To the camp that sent this in, could you please send me a bit more details? I have bad eyesight, and I can't really read the poster when it's up. So could you please send a bit more information for everybody if there's any deadlines or anything like that? But I do hope and encourage everybody to go to these events that we promote on the show, because they're phenomenal events. And speaking of phenomenal events, we did have one happen a couple weeks ago. We posted about it, but held on September 14th, the 2024 Chaplains Conference was held at historic Elm Springs, and they had a room full of people with over 44 people in attendance. Now, I don't think he was expecting his news to be covered tonight, but this was, of course, sent in by Commander Boshers, so he gets to sit back and enjoy it. But they had fantastic speakers. I'll get out the words eventually. And the past speakers were, past Chaplain-in-Chief Gary Carlisle, the Reverend Dr. Mr. Herman White. I love Reverend White. Fantastic Chaplain-in-Chief and a good friend. Pastor Charles Jennings, current Chaplain-in-Chief Tom Hitter, and past Chaplain-in-Chief Mark Evans, among others. Let's see here. Sometimes it cuts out on my screen the script that y'all are getting to see. It was a fantastic learning experience with topics ranging from the charge as a Christian document to holy men and to the tools for a chaplain, which I would have loved to have been there for all that, because I bet it was great.
And I can tell you, it was Pastor Charles Jennings is a fantastic man, and he offered to tape this, and it was taped. And I'm getting the videos, and I've already got 3 of them, and we're working on a place to get them out there on scv.org or somewhere where they can be downloaded and actually be used as programs at camp meetings. Ooh. Because the shortest one is 14 minutes. There's a lot of these that are 25 to 45 minutes. So they would be a good camp program. Looks like it's going to be 7 videos. 6 or 7 videos that's going to be available for download for this. And it was a great time. I want to thank everybody for coming. The room would only hold 50 people. We had 50 people register. We had some people that could not make it. Some things come up at the last minute, and they always do, and I understand that. We had some illnesses and people couldn't make it, but we had a good turnout, and I have seen and heard a lot of good things. I've written an article that's going to be in a Confederate Veteran magazine about it, and what I did was it was suggested that I contact some of the speakers and get some of the speakers to write how they felt about it and what they learned from it. And that's what they did. I've had several of them turn stuff in, and I'm going to kind of write an article encompassing all of that. And then the videos will be out there for people to watch. So.
I can't wait to see that issue of the Veteran. One of my favorite things about what you sent in, and I think you put it in there, this one inspiring sentence was said at the conference.
Yes.
You can talk about God all day and not mention the Confederate soldier, but you cannot talk about the Confederate soldier and not mention God.
Yes. Yes. Mike Dunn was actually said that. He was one of the first talkers, one of the first speakers, and he said that. And that actually become one of the lines through the whole thing, because it was a aha moment for a lot of people. And he is correct. It's not very long. How long can you talk about Stonewall Jackson before you start talking about salvation and Christ and God and his religion? Same with Robert E. Lee. There's so many of these that, yes, you can talk about God all day and not mention the Confederate soldier. But as soon as you start talking about the Confederate soldier, you will be talking about God. So, and that's just kind of become a recurring theme for the rest of it. Yeah.
And let me tell you, if if someone can ever describe my life or my group of people like that, I think you can say I've definitely succeeded in life. And I think that shows you really a lot about the Confederate soldier. Heck, the average Confederate soldier.
Yes, yes.
One of my camp chaplain who was going to attend but could not attend, he ministers to prisoners, and I think he wasn't able to do it for a while because we had elected a new sheriff in my hometown, and the new sheriff finally let him do it, and it was on that weekend, so he, went to his mission field.
No.
But he talked about this at our camp meeting a couple weeks ago. And he was like, the more I've studied this, he's talking about the Confederate soldier in the war between the states because he'd just gotten interested in it. He was like, I've noticed the great revival that the soldiers had, and I've noticed how connected to God these soldiers were. And if that's not how you want to be described in this lifetime, you are sadly mistaken. You have the right to your own opinion, but that's my opinion.
Yes.
I don't think there's a higher praise you can say about someone like that.
Everybody that talked to me about it, and I spoke to, I think all the men that were there, or almost all of them during it, and everybody, I've talked to a lot of them since it was over with, and even, I'm going to call them veteran Christians, men who have served Christ their entire adult life, and they were motivated by this. And it was good for it to be back. I think the last one they had was in 2019. And they got stopped in 2020. COVID kind of put a deal on it. And then one of the men who was responsible for hosting so many of them passed away. And they just it got languished. And Mike Dunn and Pastor Jennings, they came to me at the pilgrimage and homecoming, which was on May the 4th of 2024. And they had been talking to me about, we need to bring this back. And they just finally okay, when are we going to do it? And it was sitting there in the library that we came up with this. And I'm hoping it's going to continue. Everybody that I've talked to hopes it continues. And I think it was very motivational. My camp chaplain was there. It's the first time he'd ever attended anything like that. And I can tell you since then, we've had 2 camp meetings, and it has changed how he administers to the men, because part of that was the duties of a chaplain. And a camp chaplain, yes, you say the opening prayer and the benediction, and but there's a part of that to where you administer to the men. And that was one of the things that I really liked about Gary Carlisle when he was my chaplain-in-chief, was he administered to the men. Whenever, instead of just standing up and praying, he have to get your mind ready for that. It's like if you study your Bible and you're talking about you're fixing to take the Lord's Supper, it tells you how you need to get your mind right to be able to take the Lord's Supper. And so you have to get your mind right. And he would take and Gary Carlisle would just take a couple of minutes and just get people's minds to thinking along that before he said the prayer. And I like that about Gary. I encourage that. And I've noticed that is in my camp chaplain now. He won't just get up and say the prayer. He will say something first to prepare our minds for that. And to me, that's part of it, and chaplains are, I hate to hurt commanders' feelings because I've been a camp commander before, but you're not the most important person in the camp. When you are, as far as the actual business of the camp, it's the adjutant, because the adjutant pays the dues, it keeps everything going, and it takes care of that. And as far as the character of the camp, it's the chaplain. And the chaplain's going to have the character of the camp if he's a good chaplain. He's going to control the character of the camp. And so the commander's at maybe 3rd, maybe 4th, depending on how busy your recruiter is. Sometimes you'll have a guy that's a 2nd lieutenant or something like that their job is greeting people at the door and recruiting people. And, if they're doing their job, then the commander's even behind him. So anyway, that's how I felt about it. I thought it went very well.
I'm hoping to attend. I'm going to use the excuse that I get to be there because I'm going to carpool my camp chaplain to make him go up there, because me and him both really wanted to go, and I couldn't go. And then his again, that prison ministry of his got restarted.
Yeah,
and so I mean
he had to do that.
He had to do that.
He had to. Obligations, and he has that obligation, and I'm proud of him for doing it, and I encourage him for doing that, and that's wonderful. Now, the next one, that's going to be left up to the new Commander-in-Chief and the new Chaplain-in-Chief. Now, that's left up to them. And Tom Hyder, he was there at this one. I knew that we were going to plan it in mine, and it was going to happen in Donnie's. And both of them were wonderful with it. Donnie was wonderful with it. Tom Hyder was wonderful with it. And both of them were there. And you'll actually, in the videos, you will see Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy speaking. So,
well, I
didn't
do
mean
say
to go on that long, but
it's fine.
Yeah.
I do hope to see him continue, mainly because I didn't get to go to this one. I'll be watching those videos as soon as they come out myself. I might even, with permission, I again can't promise this. I'm talking about it live on air like an idiot, probably shouldn't, but I might try to post them on the SCV chat YouTube. Can't download them there, but we'll see. I need to talk to Commander Boshers, your past commander now. You probably don't want me calling you. Commander Kennedy, and of course the chaplain and chief, and see if they're okay with that. But if they are, I'll announce. If not, that's their call.
Yeah,
but I'm still going to be watching them either way. So I can't wait.
And we want them to be available. Now they're big downloads. A 30 or 45 minute video, it's a big download.
Oh yeah.
And I want to thank Pastor Charles Jennings for doing that, and thought it was a brilliant idea. And soon as we get spots reserved and a place for them to be downloaded, we'll be getting those out there. And look for the article in the Confederate Veteran Magazine.
I can't wait. We do have some pictures. I'm going to go through some of these pictures real quickly. Of course, there is a group photo. And I think, let's see here. Yes, you can see Commander Boshers. I'm not so shockingly, he's at the front of the line. He is next to Reverend Dr. Herman White. Absolute legend, by the way. Great man.
Yes. Yes.
Here's a couple more pictures.
And that's Gary Carlisle. And of course, there's Donnie Kennedy.
I mean, it looks like a great, strong crowd.
Yes.
There is one picture I'm just going to randomly post of Adam outside the event.
Yes. We went to get a podium, and he goes, it's over in the museum. It's the one that we have in the library. Mm-hmm. And whenever you want to put that one up, I think I sent it to you, because he's pushing that and he's carrying the battle flag.
Oh yeah, let's see if we can find it real quick again.
Yes, he's. We were getting the room set up, getting the tables and chairs and everything out. We had them up, and I was going to get the podium that was in the back. And Adam's going, no, we're going to use the one that's over in the library. And as I was finishing up, I walked out to go. I was going to go get it, and here he comes with it. So I don't know if you found it yet.
Oh, I found it. It's uploading.
Okay. Yes, and I just thought that was, when I saw it, I go, okay, I've got it. Yep. I've got to take that picture.
It's just so funny, because it's just like chaplain conference, random picture of Adam, chaplain conference. And so I was like wondering at first. I was like, he had to just have been clicking on his camera roll, and not, because I've done that. I sent a picture to my vet this week of my horse, and then a picture of my dog like asleep, because I thought my dog looked cute. And I'm one of those people. And my vet was like, what's wrong with your dog? I was like, ain't nothing wrong with my dog. She just had a checkup. If something's wrong with my dog, you did an awful job at being her vet. He was like, well, you sent me a picture of her, and I looked, picture of my dog under my covers in my bed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, Doc, that was on accident. So I was wondering.
No, that was actually intentional. I walked out and seen him pushing it up through there, and I go, okay, this is one of those moments you have to capture. And he was walking up through there like that. He had the flag carrying it, and he was pushing the podium there, and of course that came from a local church. That podium did, and it's got a cross on it. And we go,
wow.
Hey, that's going to be very appropriate to use for the chaplains conference. It's the one, if you ever come over to the museum and in the library, that's the podium that is over there. And we just he brought it over for that. It was just a picture I couldn't pass on, and I've kind of shared it. I don't know if I sent it to him or not, though.
Hey, Adam. It just caught me so off guard. So I was going through those photos because for those who don't know, we've started posting everybody's news they send in on the Facebook and Instagram page. People like just seeing updates. And I was scrolling for this update. And I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. Everybody's going to go to church tonight. Let me post a picture of some pictures from the chaplain conference. That will be good for this Wednesday. And I was scrolling. It's just, again, chaplain conference, Adam. And I don't know why, but I laughed for 5 minutes because all I could think of is like surprise Adam. And I could not stop laughing. And that's the picture that's going out to promote Adam's episode of Hearth and Home later this month. That's it right there.
Well, yeah, it was. I saw it. I took it. It was an opportunity. It's one of those you can't pass up. So
no,
yeah,
it's just phenomenal. All right, let's get to the two bits of Kentucky news. I had to break up Kentucky's news system because they sent in so much, which is great. But let's put up this first one. The 1 Kentucky Mechanized Cavalry, 1E, and the Eastern Brigade did hurricane relief drive in Ridley. Well, thank you. I'm so happy I have someone on the show that knows how to pronounce punctuation. Kentucky this past Saturday. Again, love seeing this. Everybody, please keep up the hurricane relief drives y'all are doing. Please keep donating. Please keep donate what you can. I know I've made this joke numerous times on the show. I'm a farmer, so I'm obviously, not money inclined, but, I do have extra food or supplies and I can donate that. These people that got hit by these last 2 hurricanes was just horrendous damage. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know if there's anything more Southern than helping your fellow neighbor, even if that neighbor lives, 600, 700 miles from you. That's just a Southern thing to do. Yeah. I know people that I've never seen since when Hurricane Katrina hit Mississippi. I was in the part of Mississippi that just got decimated. And, I mean, people I hadn't seen and, I was a baby, so, I remember a bit of it. But, people I haven't seen since then just come in, and guy from Texas came down to give water because we ran out, or give ice because we didn't have ice or, freezers or anything like that because the power was out for so long. It's just a Southern thing to do. So I highly encourage everybody to keep this up. Commander Boshers has posted a couple of updates, I believe, a couple times. Mm-hmm. Yes. So,
the one thing that I tell people to do right now on the regular supplies, they have had pretty good. A couple of Walmart trucks went through a couple of weeks ago, and I think they're doing pretty good on the usual supplies. Now they're still needing winter coats, blankets, winter wear, that kind of stuff. Of course, they were wanting heaters and propane tanks and that kind of stuff for people to be able to make it through the winter because it's cold. Because the weather's changed so much. Now, we all know how this is going to go. We know that the roads are going to be under repair for months and months and months. And you could start, this could be going on June, July, August of next year. We're at National Reunion and we still have SCV members who are still being impacted by this. because of the road damage and bridge damage and all of this other stuff. So the usual supplies right now, they haven't been asking for any of that, or they haven't asked us for any of that lately. But we know that after a few months, when this starts dying down, that's what's going to happen. They're still going to go back to needing, toiletries, toothbrushes, toothpaste, that kind of stuff. So just keep your eyes and ears open. And when we need to do this again, we'll let everybody know. So.
Yeah, please do. We will try to help as much as we can with getting the word out.
Yes.
So with that being said, if anybody has any hurricane relief information that needs to go out there, whether it's, I know the MC has been doing a lot. I know divisions have been doing a lot. I know a lot of camps have stepped up. I know a lot of individual members have stepped up. With that being said, no matter what one of those you are, please contact us. We'll try to get the word out to the best of our ability here on SCV Chat. And let's keep it up, because as Commander Boshers says, this is going to be going on for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, you can still see the damage Katrina did on my land. And I was 5 when Katrina hit. I'm about to be 26. Okay. So if that lets you know, this stuff hurts for years to come.
Yes, and this is going to be impactful for a long time. This, just be vigilant, diligent, and be vigilant, and look and see and who needs help, and try to help when you can. You can always donate to the scv.org and go in there and go into donations and give that way. And that way, if things need to be bought, I know National has given money to some of these, to the divisions that have been impacted. This is just going to be a long time and a big repair. So, and I want to thank everybody who has contributed, taking several loads over, and people have been very generous, very generous. But like I said, in 3 or 4 or 5 months, they could be needing regular supplies again. Right now, they're more needing winter wear, heavy coats, blankets, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, we'll try to get all that out. So let's see here. All right, I got my eyes aren't the best, so let me pull it up. So still in Kentucky, because Kentucky likes blowing up my phone, but the Kentucky Division Commander always shows up late. I had to put that one in there, Commander Thompson. So keep sending stuff in. Members of the Patriots of the Orphan Brigade, OCR, and Colonel Alfred Johnson, Camp 276 of Benton, Kentucky, were all on hand this past weekend during the 2024 Columbus Belmont Civil War Day Festival. It's good to be out there for festivals. I just love seeing community involvement. Because it can be easy, because I've done this as a camp, to be like, okay, well, we'll do this. We don't have to really get out, but it's still good to get out and show your community who we are as the SCV and why we're so proud to be Southerners. Carl has said it many times on the show. How can we expect people to be proud to be descendants of Confederate veterans if they're not proud to be Southern? So I do love seeing these festivals. Great job in Kentucky. I hope you guys were able to have a good weekend of teaching, of honoring our ancestors, and just had a fun time, because these festivals can be pretty fun. I enjoy going out and doing the parades, the festivals. The Kentucky Division Commander says he was on time tonight. I'm going to have to go back up and check that out. Highly doubtful. Actually, me and Commander Boshers was talking, so technically you were late. We just started the show late. So, but Commander Thompson, all jokes aside, phenomenal job.
Good work up there, Kentucky. Great work.
Kentucky's
You're
on
doing
fire.
the right thing. Yeah.
Kentucky sends in, 4 or 5 pieces of news from all across Kentucky all at once. I get stuff from a lot of camps. Commander Thompson does a great job to make sure none of the camps go through the cracks. As division commander, he will a lot of times, sometimes it's not the camp sending me this stuff in. It's Commander Thompson making sure that his camps are recognized for all their hard work.
Yeah.
And I can't thank him enough because it makes my job easier. For those, again, we post news, we talk about news. Some weeks it is slow, but I can always count on Kentucky to send me a couple things in. So, again, keep up the great work, gentlemen. Keep leading the charge. And let us know if you need anything on our way. Now, I think we do have one more thing from Kentucky. Shocker, I know. Let's see here. He hasn't accepted my friend request. And I sent it 2 years ago, Mr. Ron. 2. You knew me. Can't say you didn't. I'm going to mess with Ron now. But let's go back to Kentucky because they did another great event. Again, with the Colonel Alfred Johnson Camp. 276 in Benton, Kentucky, presented their Bible table again during this Columbus Belton weekend. The camp takes up Bibles during the year and redistributes them to those in needing of one.
Wow.
Again, we talked about the chaplain conference. We talked about the fact that, you can talk about God without talking about the Confederate soldier.
Yeah.
But you can't talk about the Confederate soldier without talking about God.
Yeah.
And this is a great example. Man, if I don't want to steal this idea from my camp.
Yeah, you should. They're modern day coal porters. During the war, you had coal porters, and they were the ones that were taking Bibles and collecting Bibles and getting scriptures, the little booklets and stuff like that. And they were distributing them to the camps. And so if they're doing this, they're modern day coal porters. And that is outstanding. And thank y'all for that. Because they, W.W. Bennett and all of these books that were written about the men who were out distributing all of this literature. And this is incredible. Way to go.
Yeah, fantastic job, gentlemen. I just love seeing stuff like this. And now this is something that I really haven't seen anything like this. I do want to point out the uniqueness of this. A phenomenal way to make sure that people are getting the most important thing they'll get in this lifetime.
Yeah,
the Word of God and salvation.
Yeah. I would like to go ahead and say this. I'm going to steal this. And I'm going to promote this. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just going to say it as plainly as possible. All great ideas were made to be stolen.
Amen.
If there is an idea that's out there and nobody ever picks up on it, it's not that good an idea. Okay. But if there is an idea that's put out there and a lot of people start using it and see the benefit of it, this is one of these things that I would encourage any camp, any individual, any Christian
Amen.
to partake in this. And, I mean no disrespect to Kentucky. And if I don't know who thought of it up there, but this is a heck of an idea. It's a beautiful idea. It's a wonderful, godly Christian idea. And I'm going to steal it, but I'm telling you I'm going to steal it. So I'm asking your permission to hijack this, okay? Because this is a brilliant idea and well done. Modern day coal porters.
This is great. This put a big smile on my face. And Kyle wanted to say, please steal this idea. So I will be stealing it. My camp will be doing this next year for sure. But he said that we gave out hundreds over the last few years in Columbus.
Yeah.
And so that's just a phenomenal thing.
Way to go, 276. Way to go, Camp 276. Way to go. I mean,
talk about leading the charge, but then, the most important mission of all, getting the word, the good news out to fellow Southerners and people. Golly, this camp's on fire.
This is a godly mission.
Amen.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Fantastic work, gentlemen. I cannot praise you guys enough tonight.
I'm mad at myself right now because I never thought of it.
I mean,
it's just a brilliant idea I never thought of. And
I'm in the Bible Belt, and I did I've been given free Bibles before, and this never dawned on me.
I went to a Mississippi Division reunion. I was Army commander at the time, and they were giving away New Testaments. Do you remember that? That was in everybody's.
What year was that?
Yeah, it was at least 4 or 5 years ago. And I thought that was a great idea. In fact, I had contacted one about one of the Bible schools about getting Bibles for them. And we're going to put Bibles in everybody's packet at Charleston, and just couldn't get them. Was going to get 500 Bibles to put in there. And because just of the New Testaments, and because that was something I was going to get because Mississippi had done it. But this is something completely different. I could see taking and collecting Bibles and then setting up at a festival and just giving them out. That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, great work. I do remember that now, because I remember being surprised because, again, I've been to many state reunions. Never in my life have I, gotten those New Testaments, and it's something Southern about those New Testament Bibles, isn't there? Like anytime you go to a Southern event, you're going to somehow walk away with that New Testament, some chapters of the Old Bible. I had at one point when I got saved in high school, I figured out that I had 16 of them saved throughout the years, 16 or 20. And after I got saved, I started giving them out because the Bible I had, I found on the ground. So I felt it was only right. And fun fact, my Bible has been stolen twice. So I've had to buy 3 Bibles over the years because people keep stealing my Bible, which is a good thing. I hope you read it.
Yeah.
Keep stealing it if you're reading it.
Mm-hmm. But that's way to go. Way to go, Kentucky, and Camp 276. Well done.
Oh, wow. And something else they did. While we're on the subject, we had stamps made at Office Depot, and we put the stamps inside of each one with our contact info. We started with the New Testaments, and then expanded to full Bibles, and then Bibles full of coloring books for kids from Dollar Tree. Wow.
Okay. I think we're all fixing to start hijacking some of these ideas.
Oh, it's the Samuel H. Poe Camp number 255 will be doing this idea next year. I can guarantee you that. That is just wow.
Man, that's taken, and that's some Old Testament traveling, Apostle Paul kind of traveling and going around and getting people and administering to the masses. Because you're not administering to other Christians. If you're going and you're setting up at a festival and doing that, you're administering to the masses. That's
great.
That's incredible. Well done.
That's just phenomenal. Not only do you get to help your community, but you get to show them the greatest gift of all time. The fact of the matter that our Savior came down from his throne and gave his life for us so we could experience salvation. Just wow, man. Kentucky just does not disappoint. They're on fire tonight. The pressure's on for the Pennsylvania Vindicators camp. They're also the people that give me the most news. I'm gonna mess with Ricky.
Man, yeah. I know Ricky Pritchett.
Oh yeah, great member, great man. He always gives us news at least every other week if it's a slow month. He's always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pennsylvania Vindicators Camp 828, Ricky Pritchett provided taps for the Anna Eliza Jones chapter 164 of the UDC at their 4th annual luminary service for the Confederate soldiers buried at Green Hill Cemetery. So thank you, Mr. Ricky, for sending that in, first off, but also thank you for helping our fellow Southerners in the UDC. Love seeing all the SCV and UDC chapters and camps work together. Want to continue to see more of that. It always makes me smile. We're in this mission together. As someone told me a long time ago, you don't have to agree on everything. We both have different ways to accomplish the mission, just like in the SCV. Trust me, I've seen it in the Mississippi Division. I ran on it. We all have different ideas on how to help the cause, but as long as we support each other, and if we disagree, okay, that's fine, but here's what I can help you with down the road. Oh. That's what matters. And so I love seeing SCV and UDC work together.
I agree, and it comes down to a simple matter. You can disagree and not be disagreeable. We can disagree. And as far as the UDC goes, I mean, I've said this multiple times. I'm not sure that SCV would exist without the UDC, because we know those ladies well back in the day when the UCV were getting together. The ladies were pushing their husbands to go, their husbands, their brothers, their uncles. They were pushing for them to go. And it's like I said at one of the times, I said, they're going, yes, you're going to go because I'm making brownies. And you're going to take the brownies to the camp meeting, to the UCV meeting. Now, when he got there, it's going to be a few brownies light. It's a cover in charge. He's going to eat those on the way. But we do know that these ladies would have been doing this. And we would have known that they would have pushed them. They would have organized them. They would have got them dressed. They would have made sure everything was in place. And they would have pushed them to do this because they were collecting and saving all of this stuff before the war was ever over, because they did not want their sacrifices and the South sacrifices and their family sacrifices to be made in vain and to not be remembered. And the UDC was the ones that started all of that. And my love for the UDC is deep, because I don't know that we would even exist without the UDC. And that's, so that's just how I feel about them. So they're amazing. And
that they are. I'm loving to see Mississippi start work together with their UDC. I believe working together is a great way to start making sure that we protect and not just protect, but reclaim our history. Because as we talked about with One Click Politics, there has been a mass attack on not just Southern history, but American history. Mm-hmm. And we cannot stand alone as the island defenders. So we have to work together, and I think working together is the key to our success.
Yes, I made a statement at one of the national reunions that we didn't need to. That nobody needs to be an island by themselves. And people thought that I was referring to another organization, and I wasn't. I was referring to us, because we would go and we would talk to politicians and go visiting and do this, and it was just the SCV there, and we needed the UDC there, and MOSB and the Order of Southern Cross and the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. With all of us working together, it's just going to make it easier and better. I mean, you have one organization show up, or what if you have 5 organizations show up, or representatives from 5 organizations show up? Now, we're not going to agree on everything, and we're all going to do everything different. Mm-hmm. And we need to keep our organization separate. But the one thing we can do is work together on projects that we do share. And when we work together, we can support each other. And when we do disagree, we just don't be disagreeable about it. We find things that we do agree on, and those are the things we work on. So,
I couldn't agree more, Commander. Let me see here. We're coming close to the end of the show.
Oh, okay. And I've talked way too much. My apologies.
No, that's what this show is. Us talking and the show going off the rails. Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. But I just love seeing, again, and I say I love a lot. That's because I'm absolutely in love with my heritage. And I mean, everything to do with it. I mean, I think I talked about this Monday. Someone made a joke. They're like, do you really spend 40 hours a week doing chat and SCV stuff? I'm like, oh, I'm probably lowballing it. But, it's because I love it. And I can't help but love it. So let's see here. We got General Hill up next. as the Turner Ashby Camp,
Yeah.
1567 of Winchester, Virginia, attended the grave marker dedication to Lieutenant General Ambrose Powell Hill. This past weekend was the General's 199th birthday, November 9th, 2024. This dedication took place at Fairview Cemetery in Virginia. In attendance was First Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin, the main speaker, Patrick Flock. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name, Mr. Patrick. We're going to say probably, but hope not. But again, Mr. Patrick was the main speaker who played General A.P. Hill in the movie Gettysburg.
Wow. Yeah.
And family descendants of General Hill were also present.
Good.
That is phenomenal. Thank you first for sending that in. I would love to see y'all do something big for the 200th. I might actually mark that down. This year we had, 2 or 3 episodes dedicated to Stonewall Jackson for his 200th. Those are big events for our heroes.
Yeah.
They've been around for 200 years and have influenced the Southern people for over 200 years. So I hope A.P. Hill gets that. I hope to help. So Turner Ashby Camp or anybody from that event watching, Tony Griffin, I would love to see us do something for A.P. Hill, either on the chat or event-wise. I challenged everybody this year, and I've seen a couple people do it, having special events celebrating Stonewall.
Yeah.
And I've loved to see it because General Stonewall, and we talked about it, and that was probably the biggest, or it's now the most viewed episode of SCV Chat in our history with 15 or 16,000 views on this single episode. You were on it, and we talked about just his Christianity.
Oh, yeah.
The example he made for us, not just as a Confederate general, but about a man of God.
Yes.
And I would love to do something similar with A.P. Hill. So please contact us. We would love to do it. scvyouthoutoutreach@gmail.com. And we'll go ahead and start putting some episodes in place for next year.
Okay.
We do have a question. Where would be a good place to send winter wear?
Okay. I would probably either send it to the Longstreet Museum that is up in Rogersville, Tennessee, or I would probably get in touch with either there or get in touch with ANV Commander Jamie Graham, because I know Jamie Graham was doing a whole lot of stuff, and get in touch with him, or you can just, Sean, I'll be in touch with you and I'll get you a good address and we'll start figuring that out. Thank you for bringing that up. Because we could take some stuff at the General Longstreet Museum in Rogersville, or we could take and work with ANV because they're handling that side of the mountain. And we could just see what he's doing over there. But we'll get you an address to choose from.
Fantastic.
And thank you for asking that.
Yes, thank you. Now we're got 2 more pieces of news left. One of them I didn't get to put in the show, but since I am in charge of the social media page for the Mississippi Division, I'm just going to pull it up because I don't need to ask anybody's permission to do that because I'm the guy who would do it anyway. So this past weekend, the Confederate Legion had its training session held at the Beauvoir, the Jefferson Davis Home and Presidential Library. Great event, great learning experience. Of course, the Mississippi Division went on to thank Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy, past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin, Chief of Heritage Operations Paul Graham, and past Chief of Heritage Operations Ron Kennedy for coming down to the Mississippi Division to show us how to get more involved in heritage operations. They were members from the Mississippi Division, Louisiana Division, and Alabama Division. Also in attendance were 8 camps to represent the Mississippi Division. Now I'm going to pull these up real quick. Jody, you had a cameo appearance in tonight's show. Of course, here is Commander-in-Chief Kennedy, Commander Gramlin. That's Mr. Ron right there. and Mr. Graham. So great event. I had a phenomenal time there. The Mississippi Division, again, would like to thank the people with the Confederate Legion, the National SCV, for coming down and talking to us about heritage operations and for hosting it at the SCV Mississippi Division owned Beauvoir. Again, for those who don't know, Beauvoir was the last home of President Jefferson Davis, where he spent his last days, where he wrote the Rise and Fall of the Confederacy, and so on and so on. I mean, we had one president of the Confederacy, and he lived in Mississippi, and I'm going to brush that off and stop trying to brag about my division now. But great event. We're happy to have y'all there.
Yeah.
And we're going to yes, Jason, I saw that. Your news will be covered next week. There was just already a lot of news to go over tonight, and as you can see, we're about 30 minutes over time schedule, usually what we would do. Yeah, it's 8:30. Which, you know, it happens. So, you know, we're saving you for next week, Jason, because we do need news to cover next week. What I'll do with it being Thanksgiving, I might film an episode a day or two early. Maybe Tuesday. Maybe it won't be live like normal, but you still will have your Look Around episode this week or next week, simply because I kind of feel bad. Work has made me have to cancel a couple Look Around episodes, so you're still getting it next week. Now we're going to end the last bit of news in Texas. So Texas did some history-making monuments. So on November 10th, the Sons of Confederate Veterans Camp, the Alamo City Guards, officially raised the very first monument to the Tejano Confederate soldiers. This is some big news, as we've talked about in the past episodes of the show. The Tejanos have not had anything. The most they've had is one plaque that mentioned them. So I'm very happy that this group of Confederate soldiers are getting their own monument. Congratulations to the Alamo City Guards Camp for doing this. Now, because of the name of the cemetery, I'm not even going to try it. We're going to let the Tejanos be respected tonight, and I'm not going to butcher whatever that is. But it's crawling across your screen, so if you would like to visit it, please do, because that's the first thing I'm going to do when we're in Texas next year.
Yeah.
As I'm definitely going to come by this and take a picture with it and see it. And this is to honor, of course, the Hispanic Texans who served in the Confederate Armed Forces.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, congratulations to the camp. Beautiful monument. I love seeing historical. Yeah. I mean, that's truly a history-making monument. You know, there's a lot of monuments out there, and they're all great. Don't get me wrong. But there's never been one to the Hispanic Texans, the Tejanos that served in the Confederate Army. And I love seeing that. That adds to our knowledge of who served in this war. Because the liberal media, our historians, will try to diminish our history. And the fact of the matter is the Confederate Army was one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse in the world at the time it was assembled. And we need to honor these men with different backgrounds and be able to put up monuments to them and say, hey, buddy, this is to the Hispanic Texans that served in the war between the states, the Tejanos. This is for them. Yeah. And you can teach your kids and your grandkids about it. And I'm so happy that monument will be up there for generations to come. Yeah. Great work in Texas. Yeah. Phenomenal work. We posted about it a while ago. That's on me. I didn't realize they had to put it someplace temporarily beforehand. And I think this is the permanent home from what the email said. So please make sure to go out and check it out. I can't wait to. They've been doing this project since 2020, I think
Wow.
raising money for it and
Mhm.
then designing it and then getting, we have a couple descendants of some Tejano veterans, so I think they were getting their input as well.
Mhm.
So it was a multi-layer project, and they did a phenomenal job. And again, great work. And I couldn't think of a better way to end tonight's show on.
I agree. That's incredible. There's only one first, and
Yeah.
they were the first, and I congratulate the camp out there for everything that they've done to be able to do that, because that wasn't cheap. That takes a lot of resources, and and what I love about it is continuing to tell the story, and that's what that does. Because that story hasn't been told. I started, first time I became aware of it and started hearing it in detail was none other than Rich Garcia. When he started talking about it and started talking about it in detail. And then it's just all these different layers that come out. And Alamo City Guards Camp, great job putting that up. Well done. And I just thank you for what you're doing. You're going to be the first, and you were the first. And thank you for telling the story. And that's what this is. This is completing the circle, and the story comes full circle, and you're helping to tell the story and complete the circle. And I thank you for that. And I'll leave you with one bit of information. I just refreshed it. There have been 5 people that have done the Restoring Respect on American History, One Click Politics. So we now have 1,085 and an hour and a half. 5 more people have done it. So don't forget about that. Please go ahead and do it. So,
yeah, please do. Thank you all for tuning in again. Make sure to share this episode out. I think next week is Hearth and Home on our weekly scheduled program. So make sure you tune in to SCV Chat this upcoming Monday for your monthly edition of Hearth and Home with Executive Director Adam Southern. It's always fun. Adam is head of TikTok creations here at SCV Chat, as I like to call him. I don't think he likes it when I say that. He looks almost insulted when I say that, but it's mainly because I just go on Adam's TikTok and steal his TikToks. And so I've just decided to start giving him the credit. So I think that might have actually helped. But please share this episode out there, everybody. Again, make sure you tune in Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. And make sure you send your news, short video, or it's been a long week. Send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups and news to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation.
And I want to thank Donnie Kennedy. He asked me to come on to talk about this. And Moose, thank you for allowing me to stay, or suggesting for me to stay, however you want to say it. And I was only supposed to come on and be for 5 or 10 minutes, and here I am the whole time. And I thank you for the opportunity to come back, because that's all Commander Kennedy asked me to do. He said, "You'll only be on there 5 or 10 minutes." And we all know I can't say hi in 5 or 10 minutes. So
no, I feel bad for Commander Kennedy, because, whenever he comes on, I feel bad, after 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, thank you. It's doing that to the Commander-in-Chief, the guy who get me fired. And me and Jason just spent an hour and a half talking about news in one click, which great episode. But Commander Kennedy, don't be too mad. We'll give you a full episode whenever you want it, Commander.
Yeah, he was the one that asked me to come on. So.
It was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'll never ask me to do it again.
Oh, but we'll start bringing what I'm gonna start calling the Mighty T-Rex. I think that's your name on the website. Is the Mighty T-Rex? Yeah,
the Mighty T-Rex. Yes.
So
we'll the camp meeting. My camp meeting was Tuesday night, and when I come in, because I had some paperwork there, and sitting on top of the paperwork was a T-Rex Christmas ornament for me to hang from the tree. So, yeah,
that's phenomenal. That's just great.
All I can say is Fold my little T-Rex arms across my big old belly.
I think the hardest part of being your aide de camp was looking over, and it was like a very serious time, and Connor just looks over across the stage and does, and I'm right behind you, and I was having to fight for my life not to laugh. It's either between that or the time that past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney made us all stand up, and I will not repeat what was said, but you could, if people ever wonder why 4 years ago 4 idiots stood up in front of the whole Confederation and couldn't stop laughing, you can blame Matt Singleton, old Candyman, making a cameo appearance in this episode. But again, thank you all for watching. Share this episode out, and we will see y'all this Monday. And until then, my friends, stay Southern.
Bread or frop.
Red or frop.